Alright, before this video gets started, I just have to put this up front. Happy Weekend is on now. Scheduled upcoming events, May 9th. May 8th is on now, May 9th. Do I need to tell you what's wrong with that? Alright, get on with the actual video. Idiots. Let's talk about Platinum equipment. The big you of equipment made with the sole purpose of taking stupidly strong units and multiplying them by 16. But more specifically, what's the worst, what's the best, and what's in between? And what changes would I make to those equipments? Well, let's go ahead and find out, shall we? Alright, we're gonna start with the worst of all of them by a goddamn light year, and that is Namek Goku. It's Namek Goku's. Yeah, his equipment sucks. So, instead of telling you why it's so bad, because if you have eyes, I'm going to put it on screen, you can see why it's so bad. You can keep slot 1 being health, but increase it. Like, instead of being 5 to 10%, make it 10 to like 18%. This equipment takes, these equipments take hundreds of resources to upgrade, so we might as well just make it worth it. Next, instead of 8 to 21.5% to either base strike or blast attack, just make it 10 to 22% on both base attack stats. Like, what the hell? And this right here, get rid of it. Get rid of it entirely. None of this attack or defense against one tag. I get it. Full power lols, but it's useless like 90% of the goddamn time. It is. So, let's do 5 to 15% to base critical rate and critical damage per defeated battle member. I mean, his whole thing is last man standing, right? Why not let his unique equipment reflect that? So, like, all in all, Namek Goku's Platinum is like a 5 out of 10. It's not completely worthless, but it could definitely be improved. Next, we're going to talk about Gohan's, though. Now, I will not be going over his normal equipment, but instead just focusing on the Awakened. The same goes for Beerus and Goten, since you're going to go after the Awakened equipment, not upgrade the normal one and then call it a day. So we'll be looking at all of their Awakened equipments instead. I wouldn't change much, actually. I'd add, base health to slot 1 to make it 10 to 15% to base health and health restoration. And I'd add Hybrid Saiyans to slot 2, making it 8 to 12.5% to both defenses per tag Sun Family or Hybrid Saiyan, which is a theme you'll notice throughout this video. And slot 3 is fine. I don't really have much to say about it. I wouldn't change that much aside from what I just said. Gohan's is a solid 7 out of 10. Great, but not perfect. His little brother Goten, again, looking at his Awakened equipment, and oh boy, it's a lot of words. Alright. That's a lot of words for goddamn equipment. But, alright, so it's solely dependent on him being on Sun Family. Which would be a bad thing, but it's the only team you'll ever realistically put him on. Any pure hybrid team you put him on would just be him and 2 Gohans until this hits his Zenkai in 2049. But this equipment does do like almost everything, but I am going to give it a 6 out of 10. Being exclusively for Sun Family brings down what would have honestly been like an amazing 8 out of 10. Now, why did I dock points from Goten for being, Sun Family oriented and not Gohan? Well, I did. Gohan's would have been an 8 if, you just got those defenses per battle member and not just, Sun Family. But, Gohan's values, the actual values, are higher, so you can realistically run him with only one Sun Family member and still feel like the equipment is doing something. Goten's is slightly lower, so he gets docked more. But at its core, I'd say Goten's is better. However, in practice, actually in battle, Gohan's is probably better. Next is Vegito, and he again gets points taken away from him for being exclusive to one team. But also, why not just 3 to 6% to both attacks and then 4 to 10% to super attack damage for 15 timer counts when changing cover? Seeing as how it's the only thing you can do to follow up his cover change with? I mean, there isn't really much to say about his equipment. I mean, what could have been an amazing 8 out of 10 is brought down to a 6 due to only being useful for one team and the weird decisions for half of slots 1 and 3. Hopefully when he gets his Awakened equipment in 2039, it'll improve this. Next is the newest member of the you equipment club, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Now, nothing bad here, truthfully. I would change one thing, and that's slot 3. I'd do 5 to 10% to both attacks when Tag God Ki or Vegeta Family is a battle member, instead of needing 2 equips, one for God Ki and then an entirely different one for Vegeta Family, just to have them be together. Like, there's no point in separating them. Just have them be together and make our lives a little bit easier. But, you know, all in all, 8 out of 10, amazing, not quite perfect, but it's pretty damn good. Next is Beerus, and my god, that's an easy 9 out of 10. It covers so much at such high percentages to all base stats except for critical and ki recovery. And you even get super and ultimate attack damage buffs. There's literally nothing wrong with this equipment. But if it's so perfect, then why isn't it a perfect 10 out of 10? Well, this is why. Super Saiyan 3 Goku's Platinum equipment is near perfect, with it only missing criticals and ki restore speed to cover every stat a unit has, including, like, it even includes health restoration. Like, all of them at really high percentages. It is easily the best equipment in the entire game, Platinum or otherwise, and is a perfect 10 out of 10. So, looking at the scores here, Namek Goku's is the worst with a kinda sad 5 out of 10. Next is Vegito, and you're probably going to wonder, why am I putting Vegito under Goten when they both had a 6 out of 10? Well, it's because Sun Family has plenty of units, plenty of variety in the amount of units that there are, so that you can put him on several different looking teams. Fusion's doesn't. Fusion's pretty much looks identical no matter who's using it. They just got 2 new units, and now the only variety you kind of have at this point is whether or not you want to use Gotenks or base Vegito. That's really it. There's not enough variety in the team for the Platinum equipment to feel like it's not just, you know, you can only use this equipment with these characters. At least with Sun Family, there are so many units with that tag that, technically speaking, you can run different looking teams. So because of that, Vegito actually gets docked down to a 5 out of 10 with Goku. Putting Goten after him at 6 out of 10. Gohan gets right under his little brother at a 7 out of 10. Vegeta comes in after Gohan with an 8 out of 10. Beerus at a 9, and Super Saiyan 3 Goku redeeming the LF Gokus with a near perfect 10 out of 10. It'd be more like a 9.5 out of 10, but that's just a cop-out to avoid saying 10 out of 10, so we're just gonna say 10 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think and where you would place these equips. I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see all of you inmates back here at the asylum for the next video. Peace.
今のは